It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look at your weather forecast. And temperatures today, I'm sure you felt it out there, much cooler than we've seen. Temperatures only in the lower 80s today, 60 for an overnight low tonight. And as we start off our weekend into Friday, sunshine, temperatures right where we should see them for this time of year. We'll top off at 88 degrees. We'll have your complete weather forecast coming up a little bit later on in the broadcast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The legislature ends its third special session. A man accused in the cold case murder of a Kashmir man seeks dismissal. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office welcomes a new canine officer, and new distracted driving legislation goes into effect this weekend. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our feature story today. But first, we begin tonight. It appears that a third special session will end today without an agreement on a $4 billion capital budget. That's because House Democrats and Senate Republicans can't find common ground on a legislative response to the Supreme Court's Hearst ruling. 12th District Representatives Kerry Condata and Mike Steele blame the High Court for the delays.
This is what happens when you see legislation coming from the bench and it doesn't follow a natural process, a process that's outlined by the legislature, that has public input, that brings all parties together to have collective conversation about good policy. There is no chance to do that when the decision is handed down from the Supreme Court. And so the legislature is left in a defensive position where they have to figure out a solution to a problem that they didn't create, that really may not have been a problem in the first place. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's where we are, and that's, I think, another point to be made. The reason we're in this thing for so long is the state has never had to deal with these kinds of issues before in its history, entire history. We've got education reform, we've got this water issue. These are big issues that most legislatures would take years to sort of vet out and solve, but it's been forced into one session. So it's staggering.
And frankly, it's not like we haven't talked about water. All the years I've been there, we've talked about water, and we've had adjustments, and we've come to some conclusions on, we've had all these different water plans for different drainages. We've done all this work, but this literally shut the door. This is, again, not a legislative situation. They just literally shut the door on us. Mm-hmm. And when you take the legislature and shut the door, it takes a lot to recover. It takes time, and frankly, we're running out.
Last year's Hearst ruling effectively stopped the drilling of some domestic and municipal water wells. Absent new legislation, some prospective homebuyers will likely see their projects stay in limbo. Governor Jay Inslee is pushing for a 24-month delay in addressing the Hearst decision. He said in a prepared statement yesterday that he supports a House Democrat-sponsored bill that would include the delay until a permanent fix is found. The governor shared a video featuring a property owner who also supports HB 2248.
My name is Zach Nutting. I'm here to put my support behind House Bill 2248. I've been asked to speak to you about why doing something about the Hearst decision is important. For those who don't know my story, I've got 5 kids. The youngest is 4 months old. The oldest is 9. All basically homeless because we bought a piece of property. We did all our due diligence to find out if we could build on it, and we're told we could. And then once the sale was finalized, we're told we were no longer able to. It is so imperative that our legislators and congressmen do something to fix this. And if you continue to kick the bucket, that we don't just stay homeless for the next year, but the emotional toll on my family is just immeasurable. Really ask that you all put your support behind 2248 and we get this passed so that the other families throughout our state can end their suffering.
The governor says the 24-month proposal would ease the uncertainty and suffering of Zach and others caught in similarly difficult situations. The attorney for the man accused in the cold case murder of a Kashmir man contends Chelan County Sheriff's Department botched the investigation and is now asking the court to dismiss the case. Steve Hare reports.
Bernard Swaim is accused along with his wife Dawn of murdering Stephen Smith in 1982. Smith had been reported missing, but his body was never found. The case went cold until late 2016 when Smith's disappearance was assigned to detectives for further investigation. Swaim was identified then as a person of interest based upon interviews with multiple people, including Smith's family members and witnesses. Swaim pleaded not guilty. His trial is set for August 22nd. His attorney, Nick Yednak, has filed a motion to dismiss the charges, arguing that the county's decision to delay charges for 34 years and their alleged mishandling of evidence over that time caused prejudice to his client so that he can no longer receive a fair trial. A July 25th hearing in the matter has been set in Chelan County Superior Court. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
The Chelan County Sheriff's Office has a new patrol canine team. This is Asa, a 13-month-old Dutch Shepherd who comes to Chelan County from the Tundra Canine Dog Academy in Willow, Alaska. Asa's new partner and handler will be Chelan County Sheriff's Deputy Brad Norton. Asa and Deputy Norton will be attending a training school to become a certified canine team. Sheriff's Office officials say Asa is a very driven dog and is ready to work and serve the residents of Chelan County. Welcome to Chelan County, Asa, and congratulations to Deputy Norton. Coming up, a new law goes into effect this Sunday aiming to tackle one of the biggest problems on the road. Also, a Missouri man is walking across the country, cutting through north central Washington on his way. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Gather friends and family and support Youth United with Color Rush. This untimed 5K event is for all ages on Sunday, August 20th. Sign up today at colorwenatchee.com.
Beginning this Sunday, July 23rd, it will be against the law for Washington drivers to use handheld electronics while driving. Drivers will be ticketed for driving under the influence of electronics, or EDUI. And an infraction will also go on your driving record and be reported to your insurance company. The new law was enacted by the state legislature earlier this year. Washington State Trooper Brian Moore explains what the new law is all about.
About 10 years ago, the state legislature passed the distracted driving law, and that law prevents people from talking on their cell phones, texting while driving, and most Washingtonians realize that that is a law right now. The problem with that law is technology actually started advancing quickly after that law was passed. Smartphones came out, and so what this law does is starts catching up with the current technology trends across the state.
And what are we talking device-wise here?
So the devices would be an electronic device, cell phone, tablets, e-readers, any electronic device. And what this new law does is actually prevents you from holding that in your hands at all. It needs to be mounted in the window, in a cup holder, but this law actually prevents you from holding those.
And not only are we talking pretty hefty fines here, it probably will go on your record as well, and your insurance will probably go up too, right?
It does. Under the old law, the violations weren't reported to your insurance company. Under this law, they are reported to your insurance companies. Your first offense is going to be a $136 ticket. However, the second offense within 5 years is going to be a $234 ticket.
And we talked a little bit earlier, this also goes beyond just electronics, doesn't it? Tell us a little bit about that.
It does. There's a dangerously distracted portion of this law, which includes eating, drinking, reading newspaper, magazine, the dog in your lap. I know a lot of people see that dog driving down the road, and it looks like they're literally driving. This law goes to combat a little bit of that. Right now, distracted driving is a leading cause of teen fatalities across the nation. It's a leading cause of fatalities even in Washington State. Washington State has seen a 30% increase in traffic fatalities from distracted driving. So this law helps law enforcement enforce that a little bit more.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Under that dangerously distracted driving law, that's a secondary offense. So if we see you eating or reading that newspaper, unless you've actually committed a different traffic violation, we're not going to be able to stop you for that. However, if you're crossing the center line, you're drifting outside of your lane, and we see you eating that hamburger, ultimately you can get a ticket for it.
In a 2014 Washington State collision report, distracted drivers crash every 12 minutes, and distracted driving was a factor in 123 fatal collisions, while a full 1/4 of all crashes in our state involved a cell phone in use just prior to the accident. Logan Mayberry likes to walk, but the walk he started from his hometown in Kennett, Missouri has become a marathon trek across America. His destination is Seattle, but we'll let him explain the rest.
It is your boy Logan Mayberry, and I am in the middle of nowhere right now. Wheat-filled country, baby. I'm on my walk across America, and I'm coming to you live here in the middle of nowhere. Woo! It's day 231 of my trek across America, St. Louis, Missouri to Seattle, Washington. I'm about over 2,700 miles into my trip now, and I only have 200 left to go. And boy, am I excited. Anyways, so my challenge for today was to walk the entire day, 20 miles. It's a short day, but I'm ending in Waterville today, 20-mile stretch. I'm 13 miles in. My challenge today is to walk the whole entire 20 miles without taking any breaks, without losing any type of crazy pace that I'm going right now. So super excited for that. I only have 7 more miles left. It's 8:30 a.m. right now. I'm hauling ass. And man, I feel great. I can see the city from here. I can literally see the city. What are you guys doing to benefit your day today and also tomorrow? Are you challenging yourself? Ask yourself, what am I doing? Am I progressing? Am I trying new things? Am I living life? Ask yourself every day. I'm gonna start running now because I just feel so good. Every day is an awesome day. Get out there and live your life, baby. I challenge you today. Make goals, achieve them, be happy. Peace out, guys. Find me in Waterville, Washington today. Deuces.
Logan expects to be in Wenatchee sometime this evening. Beginning on Friday, homeowners and businesses in the apple maggot quarantine area of western Chelan County will have a place to dump their brush, tree trimmings, garden waste, needles, and leaves. The new brush drop-off site, will be open once a week from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and is located at the Chelan County Day Pit on East Leavenworth Road near the intersection of Icicle Road. Cost is $10 a cubic yard with a minimum fee of $10. Chelan County Public Works Solid Waste Department opened the site after several residents and businesses expressed an interest in having a debris drop-off service available in the apple maggot quarantine area. Public Works officials want to remind residents that no rock, dirt, sod, lumber, or garbage will be allowed at the new brush drop-off site and to keep tree limbs, brush, grass, and homegrown tree fruit out of their household garbage. The apple maggot quarantine area includes Leavenworth, Plain, and Lake Wenatchee. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, Eric Granstrom has your sports update, followed by our feature story today. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a good Thursday night. The Wenatchee Apple Sox comeback bid fell just short last night at Yakima as they fall to the Pippins 5-4, the final, first of a 3-game series, trailing 5-2 in the top of the ninth. They get with 2 runs in, bases loaded, but that's where the comeback bid would end. 5-4 the final. The 2 teams play again tonight at 7:05. Also in the West Coast League play last night, it was Port Angeles down in Cowlitz, Gresham over Bend, Victoria, Tom Bellingham, and Walla Walla beat Corvallis. Well, there's a couple of local baseball teams that are doing well here as they make it to state. Our own NCW Life, Gabe Mercer, has more.
2 Eastmont summer baseball teams are representing the Valley in state competition this weekend in Walla Walla and Linden. The Eastmont Strikers 19U team, coached by Brandon Schmitten and Eric Coons, and the Eastmont Reds 16U team, coached by Bob Gallagher and Kyle Dawkins. Despite their most recent success, both Strikers coaches Schmitten and Coons said the road to their first state appearance has not been an easy one.
You know, we started off the season not doing too well, and then Coach Coons had a little saying 1-8 and then to state, and so that's where we're at right now.
Even through the tougher games, both coaches have kept a positive outlook. Strikers coach Coons said that he has most enjoyed getting to know his players and watching them grow throughout the season.
We've had a great summer. The boys improved a lot. We've had a lot of fun, so that's what I've enjoyed a lot.
The Reds, however, have had a bit of a different journey. Both Reds coaches Dawkins and Gallagher said they are not surprised their team has made it this far.
It's a strong group. We started off great season, and it's just continued through all the way. We're a very young team compared to our competitors. Most of the teams we play have incoming sophomores, and we have incoming ninth graders.
Reds players Max Prazer and Jordan Singleton both agreed that playing with their future high school teammates is beneficial to their team's success.
Yeah, then kind of have team chemistry. You know who you're playing with.
More of just knowing the players instead of coming up with like brand new kids that you've never even met.
The Strikers will head out Friday for Walla Walla and the Reds for Linden. In East Wenatchee, Gabe Mercer, NCW Life Sports.
And that's sports news. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. For our feature story today, we're highlighting the award-winning Mariachi Wenatchee as they prepare to perform with a major musician at the Town Toyota Center this month. Band director Ramon Rivera stopped by Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz to talk more about the show.
July 30th at 6:30 at the Town Toyota Center, we're going to have, of course, our world famous Mariachi Wenatchee is going to be opening the show. We're going to have Ramon Ayala and Los Fajarones del Norte, and it's going to be called a Gran Baile. You know what a Gran Baile is? It's a dance.
Oh, okay.
It's a dance. It's going to be a dance. What's going to be cool is that the front, they're going to have tables for people to sit, but in the back, after the table, they're going to have a dance floor. So it's going to be it's going to have mariachi music to start it off, but once this band starts doing, everyone's going to be dancing. Everyone's going to be dancing. It's going to be a beautiful sight. We're expecting about 3,000 people to come to this event.
Wow.
Because this, what I'm really proud about is the Town Toyota Center gets high caliber artists and bring high caliber artists, not just in Latin music and jazz music. They bring, I mean, we had Kelly Clarkson here. I mean,
Sure.
that's huge.
Lyle Lovett just was in town last weekend. Yeah.
These are big, and it's because of the great people like Mark Miller and the whole Jennifer and all the people that work at Town Toyota Center make sure that our community has the best artists in the world that come.
How did you get this particular artist, Ramon, to come to us? So did you call him up and say, come to Wenatchee?
Well, he knew about our band, and we just, no, just kidding. But I know, we have a advisory committee that meets with the Town Toyota Center, and they ask us which artists that would like to come, and this was a dream come true. They brought Marc Antonio Solis last year and Pepe Aguilar last year, and these guys are big time, big name artists that sell out in Los Angeles and New York, but they come to Wenatchee because they love our community. And that's what Town Toyota Center does, is that they look for the best artists. And they also are so nice to let my kids open the show and be part of it. So I love the partnership that we have with Town Toyota Center, and I love the partnership between the kids and to meet a pro artist. This is like playing with Russell Wilson, you know.
I mean,
just that's it. It's
top flight.
Yeah, it's like a football player, high school player playing with Russell Wilson. I mean, that's the equivalent is playing with this artist, is Ramon Ayala at the Town Toyota Center. Tickets start at $35, and kids are $10. You could buy their tickets online at thetowntoyotacenter.com. You can also buy it at the box office. You could buy it we have a couple of Mexican store outlets with La Surtidora, and we have Maggie's and Moses Lake. So I would get your tickets. I mean, it's a great event, 6:30 at the Town Toyota Center, and I mean, it'll be an unforgettable event.
We'll be back in just a moment with a recap of today's stories and your weather forecast for North Central Washington.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Welcome back, and now for a recap of our top stories tonight. It appears that a third special session will end today without an agreement on a $4 billion capital budget. That's because House Democrats and Senate Republicans can't find common ground on a legislative response to the state Supreme Court's Hearst ruling. 12th District Representatives Kerry Condata and Mike Steele blame the High Court for the delays.
This is what happens when you see legislation coming from the bench and it doesn't follow a natural process, a process that's outlined by the legislature, that has public input, that brings all parties together to have collective conversation about good policy. There is no chance to do that when the decision is handed down from the Supreme Court. And so the legislature is left in a defensive position where they have to figure out a solution to a problem that they didn't create, that really may not have been a problem in the first place. So, you know, that's where we are, and that's, I think, another point to be made. The reason we're in this thing for so long is the state has never had to deal with these kinds of issues before in its history, entire history. We've got education reform, we've got this water issue. These are big issues that most legislatures would take years to sort of vet out and solve, but it's been forced into one session. So it's staggering.
And frankly, it's not like we haven't talked about water. All the years I've been there, we've talked about water, and we've had adjustments, and we've come to some conclusions on, you know, we've had all these different water plans for different drainages. We've done all this work, but this literally shut the door. This is, again, not a legislative situation. They just literally shut the door on us. And when you take the legislature and shut the door, it takes a lot to recover. It takes time, and frankly, we're running out.
Last year's Hearst ruling effectively stopped the drilling of some domestic and municipal water wells. Absent new legislation, some prospective homebuyers will likely see their projects stay in limbo. Governor Jay Inslee is pushing for a 24-month delay in addressing the Hearst decision. He said in a prepared statement yesterday that he supports a House Democrat-sponsored bill that would include the delay until a permanent fix is found. The governor shared a video featuring a property owner and also supports House Bill 2248.
My name is Zach Nutting. I'm here to put my support behind House Bill 2248. I've been asked to speak to you about why doing something about the Hearst decision is important. For those who don't know my story, I've got 5 kids. The youngest is 4 months old, the oldest is 9, all basically homeless because we bought a piece of property, we did all our due diligence to find out if we could build on it, and we're told we could, and then once the sale was finalized, we're told we were no longer able to. It is so imperative that our legislators and congressmen do something to fix this, and if you continue to kick the bucket, that we don't just stay homeless for the next year, but the emotional toll on my family is just immeasurable. Really ask that you all put your support behind 2248 and we get this passed so that the other families throughout our state can end their suffering.
The governor says the 24-month proposal would ease the uncertainty and suffering of Zach and others caught in similar difficult situations. And now let's take a look at your weather forecast for north central Washington. But before we do that, let's take a beautiful look at our tower cam looking from Manson down towards Lake Chelan. You can see a few high clouds out there, but most of us will agree the cooler temperatures today felt very, very nice. And tonight and Friday, we can expect an area of low pressure that will continue to move across British Columbia into Alberta. Our winds will decrease later tonight as well. We did see plenty of wind today and through the overnight period as that front moves through. As you look on our satellite loop, you can see some clouds just beginning to move through British Columbia, and there's that deep area of low pressure that's just off the coast. We will see high clouds move in from the west across the northern part of the state in the afternoon tomorrow as that system kicks into gear. High pressure will build into the area over the weekend, and we expect warm to hot readings, especially on Sunday. A weak weather system will pass by to our north in British Columbia on Tuesday of next week, which will flatten out the high pressure a bit and which should bring temperatures right back to where we've been seeing them. Let's take a look now at our forecast. Tonight we can expect a very cool and mild 60 degrees with mostly clear skies tonight. For your Friday, temperatures exactly where they should be for this time of year at 88 degrees, sunshine for your Friday. Moving into the weekend, sunny and hot. 93 for Saturday, 96 on Sunday. We'll see low temperatures both nights around 70 degrees. And then to kick off our work week on Monday, sunny skies. 94, 92 Tuesday, sunshine, and 90 as we get into the middle of next week. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening or have video you'd like us to use, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter. Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.